Okay, there we go. All right, totally without much preparation at all. So, sorry. I literally just got in at 11 o'clock. Was out the door this morning before 8, up at 7, and today was Jazz and Rib Festival. So, yes, long, long day. Um, so, there you go. Yeah, made it. I'll keep this at about a half hour. Not going to be a long one tonight. Didn't get a lot of research done. Didn't get a ton of stuff done. So, how's everyone doing tonight? How's everyone feeling? I'm a little tired. That's 8 o'clock till 11 o'clock. So, what? 8 to 8 is 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. Up at 7. So, 16-hour day, approximately. Yeah, that's what happens. That was work. That was Jazz and Rib Festival. Um, all right. So, this is, I have not watched this. This is just straight raw footage from the GoPro. So this is starting at the corner of Town and Civic Center Drive. And I believe I go down to Broad Street to Cosi, underneath Cosi, all the way over to Main Street down Starling, back up Town, or maybe Town to Washington Avenue, Cosi, Broad Street up to Civic Center, back to Town. No, like Mount, Rich, and Front. Anyway, that's what this is. So this is a time lapse. Haven't seen it yet. I think it'll be good. This is the golf cart, just so I could get it. So, and go. There you go. All right, so yeah, zooming down the street, there's the courthouse. Coming down the street, that's Broad Street, to the barricades, on the sidewalk, headed west. That's on the right. There goes Cosi, down below Cosi. Zooming, the festival's above me, onto the right, river. Coming to the end, make the U-turn. Watch out for small children. There is the Main Street Bridge, cutting across, then go down Starling, then back up Rich through the cops, the barricades. Watch out for people, don't run them over. Past that, Washington, down past Cosi, back to Broad Street, zooming up toward downtown, headed down Civic Center Drive, all the way down back to the festival, and done. There you go. Okay, that was the wild ride. All right, now I'll enlarge it so you can watch it. Since I didn't see it, I didn't know what it was going to look like. So I didn't want to just do it. So there you go. Now you can watch this. So, yeah, so that's going down Civic Center to Broad Street, west on Broad Street, headed toward Cosi, taking the left at Cosi, going west on the bike path down underneath the festival to the end, all the way to Main Street so I can backtrack. Watch out for small children. Main Street Bridge, crossing the bridge, going west towards Starling, back up to Rich, through the barricades. Watch out for people. Taking the left at Washington down toward Broad Street, back to Broad Street, headed toward downtown. Right turn on Civic Center Drive, zooming back toward the festival and stopping at the beer booth. Boom. There you go. Okay, so that was the time lapse of that. I'll try and get more tomorrow of the actual in the festival. It just gets so crowded you can't drive the golf cart, and you can't really see it. But I'll try and do it tomorrow early so you can see more of the golf cart. Aloha, Don Idea. How are you? Now this is one, again, I haven't even looked at this. This is Natasha and I. So this has vocals to it, so I won't narrate it. But I don't remember it, so I'm sorry. This was just Natasha and I golf karting. So you're going to see it for the first time, and I'm just going to do it big screen. So here goes Natasha driving. So that's the underneath of Cosi, and she was just bouncing in the back. This was late tonight. This was like 9 o'clock-ish toward the end. Sorry, it's buffering because it's straight from the SD card. So I didn't download it yet. No idea what I'm saying. I don't remember. Sorry. Needed a warning. The motion sickness pills were required for that episode. Sorry about that. Yeah, that was the speed thing. So this is going back the other way that we came from Kosai. Um, I'll let myself narrate, but I don't know what's happening. Sorry. No audio? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Oh, it's supposed to audio is supposed to follow video. Crap. That's supposed to be that. Audio follow video.
Just making it happen.
Right.
Day one.
Audio. Yeah, probably if I download it, it would be less choppy as well. Well, it's probably good because if it was audio in the first one, it could make this thing nice. The chipmunks. So yeah, they're just cruising on the going toward the downtown, toward the festival.
We're at 14 hours.
Okay, so that was that. That was, again, raw footage. I had no time to edit. I just got back here. So I apologize for any of the crappy editing that I did because I really, really didn't see what I got. All right, let's see what I got here. Downloads. Pictures, because I downloaded a couple pictures. If they came from today, no, maybe. Let's see, downloads, no pictures. I don't know where the hell they are, where they even went to. Let's see, are they back here? We got some pictures? No, I don't know where the hell they are. They came in somewhere. Sorry, there are pictures that I thought I downloaded that were reasonable. I guess not. So today was Tropical Fruit Day. I ate some tropical fruit. Sour candy day. I actually had some sour candy today. And caviar day. I did not have caviar. I would have liked caviar today. Tomorrow is Day of Play Day, National Daiquiri Day, Words with Friends Day. Don't know what that is. National Retainer Day, and Toss Away. Oh, today is Toss Away Could Have, Would Have, Should Have Day, which I was like, okay, great. I'll do that tomorrow. All those things. Births today, James Brolin, Vin Diesel, Christian Bale from The Good Place, which I really liked that show. I didn't think I would at first. And Richard Branson, Virgin Atlantic, Richard Branson. My only musical note today was 1953. Elvis recorded his first demo for $3.98. Not bad for a demo tape. Today, deaths was Bob Newhart and Andy Davis. So Andy Davis, Andy Man. I thought I downloaded some pictures. Maybe I didn't. I'm going to look on this side right here. Andy worked at the radio station. If you didn't get to know him, he was a good cat. I have pictures from the first day I met Andy. It was one of those things that I actually got a picture from the very first day, my very first day at work, meeting Andy. We were going to a Ohio Glory football game of all things, which it was a thing back then, the Ohio Glory. I don't know where the pictures went. That's really bizarre. I could have sworn I had them. I didn't put them under a date, so I'm not sure where they downloaded to. I just downloaded them moments ago. There you go. Okay, so here we go. No particular order. All right, so this... All right, so I'm just going to enlarge these. Just a couple of them. Okay, so this is right here. This is a picture that I had on my desk forever. And this is my very first day ever working at the radio station and Andy Davis. So look how young I am. Like, is that crazy or what? So that was the, I am exhausted. Sorry if I'm sedate and half volume. Yeah, my voice is beat. Long day. So anyway, this is Andy Davis, first day at the radio station that I ever worked there, in the ice cream truck. Picked us for the Ohio Glory. So I'd met this guy. And my first meeting was the door of the ice cream truck opens up and he's like, get in. I was like, okay. And that was the adventure and how it began. Oddly enough, this is a picture of his son, his full-grown adult son, a couple years ago. So kind of looks like him a little bit, I'd say. You know, got that same kind of look. That's his adult son. This was me with Andy early on. That is a man from The Clash, right there. And then this is another one. Me and Andy with, look at what am I wearing there? I mean, like a turtleneck or something, looking all, I don't know what. I think that's, oh heck, who the heck is that? I always forget who that is. But that's at the old radio station when we were in the walls and everything. But that's, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that one. The whole, my houndstooth jacket look. That's ridiculous. But I have lots and lots of pictures of Andy. We met Iggy Pop together. That was really fun. You know, he met U2 before, and again, the best story of him ever meeting U2 was that he was not impressed meeting Bono. He was impressed meeting the man who met the Pope. That was his thing. So there's a picture of him kissing Bono. Security went to like grab him, and Bono just was like, no, it's okay. And Andy had these giant bare hands, and he grabbed Bono's head and gave him a big smooch on his head. He might have been drinking, and Andy had giant ass hands because he was like 6'5" or 6, close to 500 pounds at one point. He was a big guy. But yes, he kissed Bono's head, and security went to grab him. Bono was like, no. He just thought it was so funny that he was more impressed with meeting him because he met the Pope than meeting Bono himself, which we all thought was funny. And it's still funny to this day because it was just one of those things that, you know, that's 6 degrees of separation. Don't care so much about you. That's cool that you're famous and a rock star, but you met the Pope? Tell me about that. Tell me about that experience. So it's been 15 years. He's been gone 15 years, and still the legend lives on. You know, he was a good guy. Always fun adventures. I remember his expression was, "If you have a foot on the floor, you're not passed out. You're sleeping." So that was the rule. If you like fell asleep on the couch and your foot was on the floor, you were not passed out. You were sleeping. But if it was not on the floor, then you were passed out. I believe that's how it went. If you had a foot on the floor, for whatever the reason was, if you were sitting up or whatever. But yes, some crazy adventures occurred with him. You know, I don't want to talk badly of him, and I don't mean there's bad things. Just, you know, I just don't want to talk out of school when it comes to some of the stories. But he was a lot of fun, to say the very least. He was a very, very fun, a good person. You know, had a lot of things went on in the world with him that we enjoyed. It was one of those things where, you know, I think he would have enjoyed, because he left us when we were going from 101 to 102. I think he would have enjoyed the 102 5 years. And I don't know, maybe it would have been a different outcome to how 92 happened or 102.5. I don't know. Because you know, we were in talks about, before he passed away, about, you know, purchasing the radio station. So maybe we would have bought it together, and, you know, the adventure would have been different. I don't know. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's just one of those things. So I will not dwell on it too much. Because like I said, I'm going to keep this fairly short. Because I have to get up tomorrow again at 7. So no matter what time I go to bed, I'm already looking at, you know, a minimum of 6 hours or maximum of 6 hours. That was on last night. Wait, today's Friday. Yeah, last night. First episode of Chicago. So check that out. I actually got some people to watch it today. I sent the link, like, oh my God, these are so funny. It's like, do you ever get fed? I'm like, that's the joke. That's the ongoing joke. So it was pretty funny that people hadn't seen any of it yet. They're like, oh my God, Steven's so mean. Doesn't feed you. I was like, yeah, he feeds me eventually. I mean, at some point I get fed something. a bite or two here and there. So Jazz and Rib Festival was hilarious today. My high points of the day. I will go through the high points of my day. Let's see. One of the high points was I was working behind. I got the booth set up and all the employees. 11 people did not show up today. 11 of my full complement of people. So thankfully it wasn't overly crowded and I could shift people around, but a little shorthanded. So that was one of those things. While working one of the booths temporarily while someone was doing it, there was a guy walks up with two, I don't know, I mean, they were definitely younger girls. They were probably like 14, smoking a blunt. I mean, just like it was no one's business. I just was like, okay. Looked over at the guy and the girl that were working the booth with me. We all three kind of looked at each other at once. This our eyes kind of met. Like, seriously? Like, okay. He got a beer and they just sat there and just, it could have been their dad for all I know, but we were just like, okie dokie. And yes, there was definitely it's a festival, so the permeation of weed was definitely there. It was definitely a contact buzz potential day. It started out fine. There was a little bit of drizzle. My Uber driver, both to and from tonight, got lost. And they have directions, okay? Yes, their street's closed because it says do not enter into the street categories, but both of them got lost. I was like, how do you, so the guy coming, when we were going down, I said, I was like, because it said turn right. I'm like, no. I said, go straight, because if you turn right, you run into barricades. He was like, but Uber says, all right, so, Uber told him to take a right, takes a right turn. And of course, what's he hit? A road close sign. I'm like, damn it. So then he takes a right turn instead of a left turn and goes back to the direction. I'm like, no, you're going the wrong way. He's like, well, it tells me, I'm like, I'm like, I know where I'm going. I can give you better directions. So yes, we got lost for about 10 minutes going in circles for a street closed and finally got to where we were doing. But I was like, bro, really? I was like, I know where we're going. And then just now leaving, the guy came down and I met him at the barricaded street, and instead of going and making the U-turn like it said, he took the left turn and we went down to another closed street and a dead end. And I'm like, ugh. So he had to back out, turn around, and he went down the street. And then he didn't take the right turn again. He went straight. I'm like, no. I'm like, take the right turn. I was like, go back up this way. I'm like, I just want to get home. I don't want to sit here anymore waiting for you. Because it was, your Uber will be here in 6 minutes. It's like 10 minutes went by. He'll be here in 6 minutes. I'm like, is he lost? And I'm watching the car make circles back around somewhere else. And I was like, oh man, this is not great. It was just one of those things. But that was kind of the highlights of the day. Otherwise, it was a fairly normal day. We saw lots of people I knew, said hello, that was down for the festival. Did have some really good ribs, wow, amazing fall off the bone, the St. Louis kind, not the North Carolina kind. So they were just the meaty, kind of wow bones where there was there was nothing left when you ate the bone. There was nothing stuck to it at all. Literally, there was no cartilage or anything at the end. It was just bone. It was so good. Because it was from the underside of the pork, but in good sauce, really good. And then tater tots, which were really delicious. I was like, oh my God, these are really good tater tots. And of course, then corn on the cob. There's a place that does corn on the cob, and they do a Mexican corn on the cob. So they pour all this stuff on it. It's orange and everything else. And it's so good. It's so salty and so buttery, which is the only way to eat corn on the cob in the first place. But it's the bomb. And it's so funny. He shucks half of it and they drop it into this big machine, and it comes out and it's cooked. And then, like I said, they put it in a little trough and they pour the sauce on it and they, salt it up, and it's just. So I only had one, but I'm sure I'll have another one tomorrow. So good stuff. Yes. Elote corn, Elote, elote corn. I don't know. Maybe that's what that is, but it was, super good, super funny. Um, as I suspected, there was an absolute overwhelming police presence, which is great. Makes you feel very safe. And they're all cops that have done festivals, so they're all, I think, kind of used to the crowd you get at a festival. Um, there was a golf cart that did get stuck. Someone was driving it. I'm not sure what happened, but it did get stuck somewhere. Like, we need to move that golf cart. And I was like, okay, I'm leaving. I did my part. Um, but yes, the lack of coworkers was noticeable. A couple of the booths, I had to ship people around. I'm like, okay, there's no one at this booth. It's like, I need to go grab some other people, and here, you help this one, you help this one, you help this one. Um, because again, like I said, nothing bad against anyone that's there, but they are, they a lot of them, they have other jobs. So this is just sort of like what I do. It's a part-time thing they do on the weekend, but it's kind of a carny mentality for some of them, because it is. It's this is just a festival, so you're there just doing festival-y things. Yes, Mexican street food corn on the cob. That's what's elote corn. Okay, there you go. I learned a new word then. But yes, it's really good corn on the cob. So today was fairly slow because, it's a Friday and people are working and then they don't come out until afterwards, which they did, but it wasn't gigantic. Tomorrow will be gigantic. Tomorrow will be ridiculous. So I'll try and get some good video tomorrow. Now, tomorrow I don't think I'll get done before 11 or even 12. I will try and get home before midnight. I'm going to schedule tonight for like 11:59 and try and get back to do it. My very, very best. And then Sunday, I don't think I will at all. I have no idea what time I'll get done Sunday night. So I may just have to do it Sunday earlier. Just take the laptop and just jump in and do it so I don't miss the day. Which could happen. You never know. Could miss the day. That would be it. I think the low point of the day was just the while I was waiting for the people that the secondary shift was at 4:00, and I sat down. I made the cardinal sin of sitting, not like on the golf cart moving and dealing with stuff. And I was waiting inside, and the girl, she's like, "Oh, you can close your eyes." I said, "No. If I close my eyes," I said, "I will absolutely fall asleep." I totally closed my eyes and fell asleep. It was just for a minute, but I totally did the wake up like, oh crap, like hopefully no one walked past me while I was like just out cold, just out like a light. The reason I woke up is because I had then delivered dinner to everybody, and but yeah, that was the low point of my day. Was the absolute just falling asleep while sitting in a chair, with like paperwork on my lap, pen in my hand. I just go like, oh crap, I totally fell asleep. I stood up, I'm like, okay, I gotta get up. I gotta go move around. I can't do this. I gotta go drink some liquid and splash my face and not be passed out. Which, again, it's gonna happen. With no sleep, I mean, I probably got less than 6 hours last night. And I'll get 6 hours at maximum, which is going to be less than that, because it's midnight now, and I'll be lucky to get to bed before 1:00. I still have to shower. I still have to eat something, and then pass out. So I'll be lucky to get 6 hours again, which is fine. Yeah, love a good nap. Greg Hansberry, holy crap. What the heck? Nice to see you, Greg. Usually I'm watching your videos. I don't usually get to see you watching me. Welcome aboard, my friend. Welcome aboard. Nice to see you. So tomorrow should be a fun adventure, to say the very least. Like I said, if you're in town, come down to the Jazz and Riff Fest. Some good bands playing. It may rain. It says a good chance of rain after 4 p.m. So I don't know what that'll mean for the festival. It'll still happen. It'll just be dampened, to say the very least. I don't think that means I get to come home early, though. I still have to keep there, unless there's like a monsoon and they close the festival. I'll still stay until they close the bars and have to deal with that and clear all the bars and pull the stuff away and deal with the people and blah, 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 which is fine. I do know tomorrow, Rutger Hauer died. Tomorrow is the anniversary of his passing. Rutger Hauer was in Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner. That great scene at the end, if you remember, where he let the dove go and he died. He actually made that up. He just ad-libbed that whole thing, which I think is great. You know, talking about the moons of Saturn and the starlight and the blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he totally just made that up, which I think is great that he just ad-libbed that, which I think is a beautiful thing. Everyone should be able to do that, right? I couldn't ad-lib my way out of a paper bag right now if I really wanted to. So, yeah, any quippy response that you may put in the text, I am just not going to have a good quippy response for it. Just not. Sorry. I'm just, on a level that's not equal to anyone's normalcy. I didn't see the news today, but I did see what Colbert got fired. Interesting. I didn't understand why or anything. Like I said, I didn't look at any of the news. Not that I tried to anyway, but I did see that because I just happened to open my phone and it went zooming past me. Next Thursday will be episode 8 of this. So don't forget, next Thursday, 8 o'clock, will be episode 8. And that's where we go to Mr. Beef in Chicago. And I don't know if that's where we go to corporate headquarters, which is like if it is, it's like my biggest role of the entire series, because I go into corporate with Steven side by side. And yes, it's the lead up and everything's kind of funny. So we'll see how they edited it and what it turns into. But yes, that's next Thursday. So don't forget that's coming. And if you haven't subscribed yet, Greg Hansberry, subscribe and check them out. What else? I'm at a loss tonight. I can't even dive deep into the repertoire of stuff. It's just, you get to the point of mental exhaustion. It's not physical. I'm physically, I can still do stuff, but it's just mentally, I'm just kind of burned out at the moment. I'm looking, I figured out, I was like, okay, microphone working, great. I just kind of clicked things on. I was like, all right, there we go. Everything's operating as far as I can tell. I haven't screwed up yet. We still have the both cameras working. So right there in itself, I'm winning. I'm winning because, so don't forget, like and subscribe to this one, right? Because that I can do that. So I can change this camera and I didn't screw up because you didn't get it going to fade to black when I didn't want it to. And look, the Death Star, it's still there. I am going to move it. I swear I have to move it. I smashed into it so hard tonight. I totally thought I was going to break it. I mean, it's up there well. It's up there with like steel cable. It's going to have like a 1,000-pound test or something ridiculous. But I swear I can see where it's starting to separate and like it's getting to the point where one or two more good whacks like that and half of it's going to wind up on the ground and then it's going to be lost forever. Because how long did it take me to find a damn license plate that was right there? Imagine if I dropped half the pieces of this thing, the Death Star. And this is one of two, by the way. I have another Death Star. We have a second Death Star. It's not as fully assembled, but there are two of these in the possession. I have a lot of Lego. Way too much money was spent on Lego in the Malloy house over the years. So there's a lot. Yes, Spaceballs too. Oh, I'm subscribed. Good job. Thank you so much. Love you, mean it. I saw someone, look what someone gave me today. Someone gave me a really nice, shiny 2022 50-cent piece. How cool is that? Because I said I would think about doing something. All right, well, here you go. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm like, you need to do that. So that was Chet Ridenauer, good old Chet. I guess he does like some welcome wagon party where you're supposed to meet with your neighbors and he gives you like a welcome kit that he can meet your neighbors to meet your neighborhood. I'm like, all my neighbors are college kids and renters. I said, unless I'm throwing a kegger who are playing cornhole or beer pong or something, I don't think they're going to give a crap about a meet and greet type thing. So I don't know. We'll see. that would definitely be one of the more interesting meet and greet parties that I think that their organization would be involved with. Yeah, here's my neighbors, and they're all college kids, and they're having a beer bash as opposed to potluck. I mean, maybe it is potluck, but it's real pot. Good luck. I mean, just saying. I have no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, like I said, my notes unfortunately were really down and dirty tonight. They're fast. I didn't even see what kind of historical events happened. I did see a couple other things happen in movie history and stuff, but I was like, who cares? They seemed very low grade. Apparently, a lot of the celebrity deaths don't seem to be as high in the summertime or the births. So I have to figure back 9 months when all these celebrity parents were screwing that made them have these celebrity kids. That'll be something for me to ask an AI. When are most celebrities born? Is there more months that it's more celebrity than not? I don't know. But it just seems like there's less now than before, and less celebrity deaths. So maybe there's particular times a year when they're not vacationing. They're out doing tours or rock starring, in the fall or the spring or the winter when they're actually on tour. Maybe that's it. I don't know. There has to be some correlation. I'm sure there is. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, like I said, I'm going to keep it brief. So I'm like I said, I could just ramble, but I have nothing of any substance at this point. And it's already tomorrow. So we have broached into Saturday, which I try not to do, is do 2 days. So technically I have an episode that's on today, but it doesn't count because it's not traditionally episode 49. So we'll hit the halfway to 100 by the weekend, which is crazy to do 50 days straight of this. But we're going to keep going. That's all there is to it until I'm, able to make a living doing this, because I can't make a living doing anything else at the moment, apparently. Oh, and my Thursday news was not great. So I will not be sharing my Thursday news. It'll now have to wait until August 21st for me to share, hopefully, my city news. So you'll have to be patient with me. August 21st is the next time I will have the opportunity to address this issue publicly, and then go from there. So, yay to me, because it's the third Thursday and it's August is later. It just, yeah. So, crap. 5 weeks away. Deep cleansing breath. All right, I'll say goodnight, Gracie. Good night. Thank you all. Appreciate you. Don't forget this. Like and subscribe to this. Nope, wrong button. Like and subscribe to this. Watch them. Everything else. I'll see you tomorrow, I hope. If not, we'll get it figured out. But hopefully I'll have some semblance of a list to talk about. And then we'll go from there. Buenas noches. As always, fade to black.